And welcome back to Who Would Win. And it is the second of the monthly Who Would Wins that I do in the week of Who Would Wins. Again, the Planeswalkers of the game Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is a card game, has a lot of lore, history, detail that goes into it. And in Magic the Gathering, there are multiple worlds, almost infinite amount of worlds, planes of existence, characters that can traverse through. Almost had that sentence down. Characters that can travel between them are called planeswalkers. They're usually more powerful than your average character and things along those lines. So we are on a character known as Tibalt the Fiend Blooded. Tibalt the Fiend Blooded is a character who was originally from a plane called Ravnica. Now Ravnica is Innistrad. Innistrad is a plane based off Gothic horror. He was a student of a necromancer, but he was a kind of a failed necromancer. And he reveled basically in causing pain to others, eventually allowing him to creating a fusion with him and a demon, making him half human and half demon, hence what his actual picture looks like. Now, in terms of his powers are a little ill-defined. We know that because he's a demon, he has a demon. Because he's half devil now, he has a devil's physiology to him. He is capable of creating sulfur flames, basically pain-inducing magic. He carries a dagger on him. That's very possible. He's, again, demon physiology. He has some minor necromancer capabilities, but he's not a perfected necromancer. He's not really a very powerful character in that regard. In fact, he's probably one of the weakest planeswalkers overall, just because if you look at his card, simply on the fact that he is simply because he is only cost 2. He's the lowest costing planeswalker there is. So, and he's a pretty scrawny, lean dude also. So ultimately he's not super powerful, but his power is about pain inducement, fire, sulfur, things along those lines. So there's that. Then you have Hellboy. The Hellboy I chose because Hellboy actually is half demon, half human. So it actually fit the matchup pretty well. He's also a red guy, so it also makes that pretty easy. Hellboy, obviously, he is the son of the fallen one. At least that's how they described it in the movie, where he is the key to the apocalypse. Literally, his right hand is the right hand of doom. It's a key. It's indestructible. But it can be cut off from there. He himself is pretty durable, but he's not bulletproof or anything like that. He always has a gun on him, which, I'm not a very good shot. As American here uses really well. It's a much bigger handgun than your normal person. Probably like shotgun, shell round, caliber bullets. They have different effects. They're usually holy and blessed, so they can hurt individuals. Some ingredients are straight from the Vatican themselves. He's also got skill in exorcisms, reanimation, the occult. He's also just physically quite powerful. He can easily lift a couple 100 pounds, no problem, over his head without difficulty. I think he can probably lift about a ton if I know his power set right well enough. He's not bad in a hand-to-hand fight either. I'm trying to think what else are some of Hellboy's other abilities right off the top of my head. I think they just covered the majority list. But ultimately he is not a terrible person at all. He's actually someone who just wants to belong in society. It's just he's because of the way he looks, he can't just walk around with normal humans, unfortunately. But also, he's not like he belongs with other demons. He's only half demon. He's half human. So ultimately, it just comes down to him just trying to do good by society and things along those lines. So ultimately, let's see who comes out on top. Well, obviously, Tibalt would have to go to Hellboy's world, planeswalk there. And he's wreaking havoc as a demon, causing pain and problems. And then basically the Bureau of Investigation or Paranormal Defense calls in Hellboy. Just saw this guy. So Tibalt, meanwhile, is maybe carving up a new victim or just torturing someone. And then all of a sudden, he's about to stab someone, and then ping! Gets a blade blast. That was just like, what? And then it just sees Hellboy say, yo, Look, I don't really care that you're stealing my look. Frankly, it's nice to see such a handsome fellow around here. But I can't have you hurting the innocent people. So you can either go home or I can make you go home. And now Tibalt I don't know what Tibalt kind of sounds like, but ultimately it's, uh, he's just like, well, okay then. So why'd you try to make me? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Hellboy's also fireproof too, being a demon. So Tibalt fires some sulfur, like hot ash out of his face and things along those lines. But ultimately, it just burns. It doesn't do anything. Hellboy then comes and just smashes into his shoulder. And just boom, shoulders him. Then he pulls out his gun, but Tibalt is able to, resurrect some minor dead. Not like full resurrection, but not that he kind of reanimates the corpse briefly. It surprises him, like, get off me, and then Tibalt just kind of burns the gun out of his hands, like, okay, fine. Fist, like, all right, fine, fist, and they kind of go hand in hand, which Tibalt does not do well against. He's like, yeah, and he's able to get away, grabs his knife, and he's able to cut Hellboy. It's like, oh, your pain is so good, give me more. Kind of maybe use some magic to twist the pain a bit, and Hellboy's like, and now Tibalt comes in and just like, give me more, and all of a sudden Hellboy just grabs the blade, chink, and just breaks. It's like, and Tibalt's hand's still in his fist too, and he breaks it, and just exquisite. Oh, and he's just, but his hand, he's kind of in love with it, but at the same time, it's like, he broke my hand. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work. So he just tries again to point blank fire blast or sulfur blast Hellboy in the face. Try! It's like, yes! And then Hellboy just is looking at this like, this really stinks. And then just grabs his other hand and just, yeah, and then he finally grabs his gun, which is still hot, but he's like, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work. You know why? I'm fireproof. And then just fires up, blows his brains out. So Hellboy wins this fight pretty handedly. Again, the real problem is, and I tried looking up, but I couldn't find anything, is that Tibalt's actual ability / power set is really ill-defined. It seems to be a lot of pain inducement. He has some minor necromancy skills. His art shows him with basically conjuring up sulfur and flames. So ultimately, yeah, Tibalt's interesting in that sense, but none of that can really hurt Hellboy. The only thing he really has that can hurt Hellboy is his blade. And Hellboy might be taken off guard by a bit, like you might get a lucky slash on Hellboy, but ultimately Hellboy would just be like, okay, fun, and then just breaks his hand and breaks the blade. So ultimately, yeah, it's one of those things where Tibalt just doesn't have a real method of killing Hellboy outside of a lucky stab, which, to be fair, if that happens, I can give him a legitimate win. So I would, maybe go 5, 10 would be pushing it, but I might say 10% on that for Tibalt. Ultimately, though, Hellboy takes the vast majority of these fights. But let me know what you think. Do you think different? Do you think Tibalt, if you know actually more about Tibalt than I do, his actual abilities, do you think he could win more fights? Do you think he might win the majority, or do you think Hellboy just smashes him the entire time? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you. Well, seeing as this is coming out Wednesday, later tonight when I do the death battle prediction. So thanks for watching, and I'll